video is looking at the major shallowers of the transition. So a lot of golfers submit their swing or see me in person, and I'll ask them, hey, what are you hoping to work on? And many of them know, many of them have seen on video, or they know when they submit it, I'm getting steep in transition. I just don't know how to shallow it. When I try and shallow it, I hit it poorly, etc., etc. So what I'm gonna do in this video is highlight the 3, possibly 4 key shallowers that you can try if you're struggling with getting very steep in transition. So, and you'll probably be surprised by one that is left out, but I'll explain what that is. So the 3/4 major shallowers are going to be full body rotation in the backswing, so completing your turn, right arm external rotation, left forearm pronation, or left arm adduction, or working more across your body. That's the one that's kind of, for most people, technically shallows, but causes a little bit more of a steep movement in transition. So the one that you may have thought would be included, but doesn't actually fit in this category, would be right side bend. A lot of golfers do right side bend in transition, but if you're looking at kind of the tour model, the right side bend isn't going to switch from left to right until around shaft 45. So that's more of a release movement going into the side bend. It's not so much one of the major shallowers in transition. So the one that I think everybody tries and everybody has at least experimented with is the trail arm external rotation. Now, a lot of golfers will try to get into this trail arm external rotation and end up getting like super side bendy extension, early extension, and they'll start getting into more of this kind of super shallow, shallow too long, shallow too late pattern that becomes unplayable. So I've had a fair amount of success helping golfers get more of the shallow from rotating the lead forearm. And it's important that it's the forearm, not the shoulder, because if the shoulder starts rotating, that's a disconnected and weak position for the shoulder. So the shoulder is actually going to potentially internally rotate, or at the very least kind of stay the same as that lead forearm pronates. So if I go up towards the top of the swing, I keep that lead elbow kind of pointing down, and I'm just going to feel like I turn that thumb down just like so. If I turn that thumb down, that's going to shallow. The other option, I'm at the top of the swing, I'm going to externally rotate. So I'm going to externally rotate like so. That would be more that trail shoulder. The one that a lot of people miss is completing a full backswing. So a lot of golfers, if you don't have enough rotation, then what'll happen is the club, the hand distance from the target line, will be more closer to the target line as opposed to if I had that rotation. And that rotation allows me to potentially not shallow quite as much with my arms and still come from the inside. So especially with the driver, golfers who can do it pretty well with an iron, but then because with the driver you don't want to hit down quite as much, they tend to get a little bit steeper with the driver. They can feel a little bit better and actually improve their launch characteristics by making sure that they complete their shoulder turn, complete their pivot, and really focus on that arm height and depth as opposed to maximizing those arm shallowing. So if you're struggling with shallowing the club in transition, take a look at the amount of turn you're having in the backswing, and know from some of the other videos that turning doesn't just mean rotation. It's a extension, a side bend. It's finishing the pivot. So you can finish the pivot, which will help create the depth. You can rotate the lead forearm to help shallow, or you can extend or externally rotate that trail shoulder. You can potentially pull the arms more across, but what can happen is sometimes pulling it across limits your ability of the trail shoulder, and so it forces your arms to actually get steep in transition. So for some people that helps, but for many people that actually makes it worse. So we've got drills here in the transition section to help you feel either the trail shoulder, the lead forearm, but know that completing the backswing is always an option if you're struggling with getting too steep in transition and you can't get it shallow enough just from the arm movements.